I'm Paul Recker, and I got my first introduction to the Alexander technique in 1998. I was a guitar player, and I got a repetitive stress injury in my right forearm, my picking hand. And I happened to be reading a book at the time about muscle injuries that musicians might incur. And in the back of the book, there was possible therapies or treatments that would help. And one of them was the Alexander technique. And I called a local teacher. And then the first lesson, I came home and told my wife, this is going to change my life. It was so dramatic of a change. In a few weeks, my arm pain was gone. I was intrigued, so I continued lessons, and I found very shortly I could move my head side to side without hurting my neck, which was unusual. And my back didn't hurt anymore. And I had pretty serious back pain for about 30 years. I decided I needed a lot more Alexander work. So I called Missy Vineyard and asked her about training in the program. And that I entered training in 2005. And in 2008, I graduated training. And already I was noticing things going wrong. After 3 years of teacher training, I thought my guitar playing should get a little better, but it was getting worse. I had no idea what was going on, and it just progressively worse and worse until finally in 2013, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I was actually relieved when I got a diagnosis because I thought, well, that explains things. Then I understand what's going on. And then I could trust my skills in the Alexander technique, and I could control anxiety. I could control tremors to a certain extent. You're losing control. And if you didn't have something to deal with that effectively, I would be lost without it. I have bad times where I miss a med, fear a med, and start to have off times. And I can recover pretty quickly and get my meds back up where they are. But I can bridge that gap pretty well. I have to be careful with my speech because it can get garbled and mumbly. That's the big help. I can talk normally, even though for me it sounds like shouting. But I'm assuming this sounds like a normal voice to you. But what happens is I get the stimulus from my hearing that I'm shouting. And I have to inhibit that response because I know from other feedback that I'm not shouting. This is normal. So I have to let that uncomfortableness with the loudness just go away. I don't need it. To find some other way to speak. First of all, I guess I was impressed by how many people living with Parkinson's were at the conference. So it gave me some inspiration that you can keep going. It's okay to stop and rest when you need it. And I learned that people seem to be open to new ideas that they're not familiar with. They're willing to try things for the most part. So it's encouraging.